Welcome to Proverbs 31 by Design. My name is Tina Heisman. I help Christian women who are struggling with the overwhelm of trying to balance being a wife, mother, and career woman. When they work with me, they discover how to design their life so they can experience the joy, love, success, and fulfillment they are seeking. The topic of today's podcast is living in alignment with your purpose. But before we get started, I have a little something for you. It is my ultimate guide to guilt-free self-care. It will help you take care of yourself in mind, body, and spirit. And you can download it for free on my website, tinaheisman.com. I would also like to invite you to my private Proverbs 31 community on Facebook, where you can come to get positive inspiration for your life. Search Proverbs 31 by Design in the Facebook search bar. Okay, let's dive in and talk about living in alignment with your purpose. So this topic is on my mind because I'm focusing on it in the coaching program that I am participating in. So yes, friends, even your coach gets coached. Of course I do. Having a coach helps me. It helps me do what I say I'm going to do. It helps keep me motivated. And it helps me be exposed to my blind spots. You know, those places where I might not be thinking about things right. And it most definitely helps me stay aligned with my higher purpose in life. So I'm feeling inspired on this topic, and I want to talk to you today about it so that you know how to live your purpose. So do you know what your purpose is? Is that something that you've ever thought about before? And do you know what people mean when they say, "What is your purpose?" Well, the way I have learned it is that our purpose is what we are here to do while we are alive on earth. It's like an overall goal or theme for your life. So when you are living in alignment with your purpose, you feel more fulfilled in your life, and you are more focused, and you know what to say yes to and what to say no to. Also, you feel happier and more joy-filled because you know that you're living your purpose. And also, you have more energy and more fun because living in your purpose is fun. And when we have fun, we have more energy, right? So living in alignment with your purpose is a really fulfilling place to be. And I think part of that is because you know that you are making the world a better place. It doesn't have to be a huge, big global impact all at one time. But when we are living within our own alignment and in our purpose, then it's like a domino effect of us affecting the people that are closest to us. And it just keeps going on and on and on, right? So we don't have to worry about fixing the whole world all at one time. We just have to worry about living our very best life, and that will affect the people closest to us, and it will just take off from there, right? So everyone has a different purpose. God has given each one of us unique gifts and talents and callings that work to serve His greater purpose. So we all have a role in that. In fact, Romans 12:6-8 says, "We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully." So there are other scriptures as well about each one of us having our gifts and talents and purposes, but that's just the one that I chose for today. And so I'm curious, have you ever stopped to really think about what your role is in God's purpose? What are you here to do? How are you here to help Him? And in case this helps you, I'll share my purpose with you and a little bit about it. I believe my purpose is to love, serve, and teach. And so to me, that means I always want to be giving love to everyone around me. I want to be of service to the people around me. And I want to teach the people around me about love, and specifically in motherhood and marriage and faith. And so I have been truly blessed to find a career that very directly allows me to do that with life coaching and public speaking. But even if I chose a career, say as a bank teller, I bet I could still find a way to love, serve, and teach in that role. I believe that no matter what our purpose is, we can do it from anywhere. And so many people discount their current role or think it isn't important enough because it's not making a big enough impact in the world. But I would challenge you on that thought. We can all live our purpose in the exact spot we are in, even if the spot you are in doesn't thrill you. So if I didn't have a career, you better believe that I would still be loving, serving, and teaching as a mother and a wife, right? It doesn't mean we have to be employed or have our own business to be fulfilling our purpose. And so that's what I want you to know is, for me, whether I'm a life coach, a bank teller, or a stay-at-home mom, I am still loving, serving, and teaching. So the question is, how do we know what our purpose is? Well, I think a great first step is to first ask God for some guidance, right? Tune in a little bit there, see what He might have to say to you or show you. And then get out some pen and paper because we're going to do some thinking. And now don't skip the pen and paper part, friends. It really is that important. The thing with writing is that it slows you down long enough to get out of your head, and that helps you get more clarity. And there is actually a lot of scientific research behind this. And so there's that. But I also think that it helps you hear God better, right? Because we know God's voice is always that still small one, but we crowd it out so often with all of the noise. If we'll slow down and do some writing, we'll get to hear God a lot more often. And it's really a beautiful thing. It's very fulfilling. Okay, so in order to figure out what our purpose might be or move in that direction, we're going to make a few lists of things. That's hard to say, lists. 6 lists to be exact. So first of all, number 1, write what you love doing. Just make a list of all of the things that you love doing. Do you love running? Do you love taking a walk out in nature, for examples? Number 2, write what you are passionate about. What are you passionate about? Like for me, like I am passionate about marriage and keeping families together. That's something I'm really passionate about. And that comes from my past, right? And my experience. Number 3, make a list of things that you are really good at. So think about things that come easily to you, things that come naturally to you. What kinds of things are you really good at? Like for me, I would say I'm really good at being organized and keeping things in order. But you might be really good at creativity, like or leading groups or something like that. So think about all those different things that you're really good at. Next, make a list of what makes you excited. It's really important to think, like, how often do you actually stop and think, what are things that you're excited about? What is like so exciting to you? And make a list of a few things that you're excited about. These are joy-filled things, right? So these lists shouldn't be painful to write out. This should be fun to think about it. And you know, as moms, so often we really lose touch with this side of ourselves because we're just so busy being moms. So this is a really good thing for you to do. So that's excited. And now number 5, I want you to write down what your priorities are. So for me, this would look like God, family, career. Right? Those are my priorities in order. And then number 6 is write down what you want to spend your time doing. Like if you could pick anything, what would you want to spend your time doing? Think about that, right? What would you do? Okay, so those were the 6 different lists. I can't believe I'm trying to say such a hard word. It's such a short word, but so annoying. Okay, so first you're going to write what you love doing. Second, you're going to write about what you're passionate about. Third, write what you're really good at. Fourth, write what makes you excited. Fifth, what your priorities are. And 6, what you want to spend your time doing. Now, the cool thing about making all of these different lists is that you're going to take a look at them once you're done and look for things they have in common or themes that go together that could possibly turn into your life's purpose. And so the thing is, what I'm teaching you to do is to look within for your purpose instead of chasing it somewhere outside of you, because that is where your purpose is. It's within you. You don't have to go searching it. It's just right here within you. And so once you can narrow it down, you want to kind of make one sentence about what your purpose is. Like mine is to love, serve, and teach. And just come up with something like that just inspires you and makes you feel like so excited in something that you can see applying to all of the different areas of your life, right? Okay, so then that's going to be really exciting when you do that work, and take some time with it. Like if you can find like maybe an hour to sit down and go through this exercise, that would be a really good thing to do. And I would encourage you, don't try to spend much more than that. Like just have a sitting, go through all of this, give it some good thought, give it some good prayer, and come up with something, and then live in it for a few weeks. Like go out into the world and practice it for a few weeks and see how it feels before you try tweaking and changing it. Okay? So imagine how magical that's going to feel. And it really does feel magical when you wake up in the morning and you think, how am I going to live my purpose today? What am I going to do to live my purpose today? And that really helps shape your days into days that feel so good. They feel, by the end of the day, you will know that the things that you were doing are in alignment with your purpose, right? And so like I said earlier, it will help you say yes to opportunities that are in alignment with your purpose and no to opportunities that are not in alignment with your purpose. And it'll be easy. You'll have an excuse. Nope, sorry, it's not in alignment with my purpose, right? Now, don't get me wrong. When you're living in alignment with your purpose, it doesn't mean that life is going to suddenly become effortless or that all of your problems will go away. That is certainly not the case. But when you know that you are living according to your purpose, it really gives meaning to your life and to any struggles that you might be feeling, right? And it gives you direction, helps you know how to make decisions. And so what we do is we just keep following our purpose, right? So to give you an example, I have a recent example of when I was caught not living in alignment with my purpose. Believe it or not, it's easy to fall out of it. And this might be an interesting story for you to hear, but the other day I was talking to my coach and sharing some business mindset struggles with her that I was having. And she showed me that actually by keeping that negative mindset, that I was not living in alignment with my purpose, because my negative mindset was keeping me from doing the work necessary to love, serve, and teach. Do you see how that works? Like that was really a wow moment for me, because I was just kind of blaming, circumstances or something for my mindset, but really it was my mindset that was keeping me out of alignment of love, serve, and teach. And so that is something that helps to have a coach. It helps to have a coach or an accountability partner of some sort to call you out on that when you might not be living in alignment with your purpose. And so that was just a recent instance that happened for me. And I also want to share with you something a little bit encouraging, that when life gets hard, when life seems to hand you a very difficult situation, you can still be living in your purpose, and it's even better that way. And it's more healing and it helps you cope a little bit better with the circumstance that's been handed to you. So, for instance, I have a client whose purpose is to be a loving mother and wife. And she's struggling right now because her oldest daughter went off to college this month. And that changes her family dynamic drastically. And now she has more worry about her daughter, living in a college town away from home. And so in a case like that, my client is most definitely going to need to work on some self-care, right? Necessary to take care of herself in mind, body, and spirit during this time, because it's a very real transition. But during this time, she can still live according to her purpose. She can still be a loving mom afar for the daughter that went to school. And plus, there are 2 more children at home to continue and nurture, right? And so even though things look differently with one child out of the nest, she still has a role within her purpose. It's just that it's going to look a little different now. And so what I coached her on was taking some time at what this new dynamic is. With this daughter that's in college, how do you be a loving mother to the daughter there. What does that look like? Things are going to be different. She's not going to be in her bedroom, all the time. And so she can work on that and coming up with action plans that will cause her to be very intentional with her relationship with her daughter, right? And then it probably also will change her dynamic at home with her other children and her husband, right? And so she can still live her purpose. It's just going to look a little bit differently. And honestly, when you can come at it from this perspective, even though it is a big, challenging time, it can really help us to cope with it as we're moving through the different stages of experiencing the child going off to college, right? And so when we have a purpose, we are not lost, right? Even when circumstances change, we can find new ways to live our purpose. And this gives us a feeling of empowerment. And it's such a beautiful thing. And it just really does ease the transition. So our purpose can come with us through all of life's ups and downs, but it might shift or change a little bit in how it looks. And that's the beautiful thing. And so I just love talking about this topic. It's such a fun topic. And I hope that today I've been able to show you a little bit about how to connect with your own purpose and how to live it, and showed you that there can be some blind spots to it and also the beauty of it coming along with you through all of life's ups and downs. But I know that you might want a little support on this and working on it, and I would love to be that support for you. So if you would like to know more about how I can help you live your purpose, reach out to me for a complimentary discovery call, because I would love to guide you. Okay, so don't forget to join the Proverbs 31 by Design community on Facebook, and also go to my website and download my free ultimate guide to guilt-free self-care. And hey, if you love this podcast, would you mind heading over to iTunes and rating it for me? That would mean so much to me. Okay, friends, thank you so much. I will see you next week.